Hello students, welcome you all. So in this session I am going to start with your third unit of English syllabus, that is the poem written by Khalil Gibran. So before going through about explanation of verses here, let me go through the poet Gibran. So all children, written by Khalil Gibran. So Gibran was born in 1883 and died in 1931. Gibran was a Lebanese American artist and a poet. So Gibran is a Lebanese American artist, writer and a poet. So Lebanese, see the word Lebanese here. To whom you call as Lebanese? Lebanese andre yaru? Lebanese anno padada arthavenu? Lebanese means a citizen belonging to the country of Lebanon. And where the Lebanon comes? Lebanon comes in the Middle East part of the world, which means Middle East Muslim countries. So Gibran was being born and brought up in the country of Lebanon, and to some extent of his life he lived there in that country and later on migrated and settled in America. And later he wrote there, being settled in America, he wrote many works and he became very famous. So Gibran is called as Lebanese American artist and a poet. So when it comes to the poems of Gibran, what kind of poems Gibran wrote? How about the versification of the poem here? So his poems are considered as a poetic essays. As I wrote here, his poems are considered as a poetic essay. Why we call it like this? Why his poems are considered as a poetic essay? Yaka poetic essay anta helbodu antandre, what the poems he wrote, when writing the poetry, he did not follow the versification here. So that's what it is given in your text, as they do not adhere to the usual versification. Adhere, which means follow the practices of writing poetry. So Gibran did not follow the writing practices of poetry, like using metrical practices, using meter, diction and verb, these kind of things Gibran did not follow in his poems. So we can say that Gibran's poems are descriptive in nature, which means more like essays. ಹೆಚ್ಚಾನೆಚ್ಚ ಎಸ್ಸೆ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಪದಗಳ ರಚನೆ ಬಳಸಿ ಅವ ಪೋಯಂ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಯೂಶುವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕವನಗಳು ಬರೀತಾರೆ ಪದ್ಯಗಳು, ಆ ರೀತಿ ಪದ್ಯ ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ ಕವನಗಳನ್ನು ಬರೀಲಿಲ್ಲ. So his works here, his best known works, the Prophet. So the Prophet is the best known work of Gibran. Prophet is the best known work of Gibran, and this work, the best known work, the titled Prophet, it has been translated into 25 languages including Kannada. Overall, the Prophet work is being translated into 26 languages of the world. ಇಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧಿಯಾದ ಕೃತಿ ದ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಭಾಷೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಕನಿಷ್ಠ ಸುಮಾರು 26 ಭಾಷೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕೃತಿಯನ್ನ ಭಾಷಾಂತರವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ syllabus, that is the poem on children. It is a collection of the work. It is a collection or it is an extract from that work, the Prophet. So Prophet ಅನ್ನೋ ಈ ಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ತುಣುಕು, ಒಂದು ಕವಿತೆ ಇದು ಯಾವುದು, ಆನ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಈ poem. So before going through about the poem, for what purpose or for what reason the poet wrote the poem, I'll tell little about Gibran, more about Gibran here. So Gibran not only a writer or poet here, Gibran was also a spiritualist and philosopher. He was philosopher. We can see the philosophical teachings in the work of Gibran here. So he much believed in God. He appreciated God creations. So when we see the works of or poems of Gibran, either in all the poems, in each every poem or in each every work of Gibran, we can get some lessons out of that. We can get some philosophical advices from his work. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕೃತಿ ಕವಿಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಫಿಲಾಸಫಿಕಲ್ ಅಡ್ವೈಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ನಮಗೇನಾದರೂ ಪ್ರೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಉಪದೇಶವನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಅವನ Kruti. So same is the case here with the On Children poem. So in On Children poem, this poem tells about the right parenting here. So through this poem or Gibran by the philosophical teachings in this poem. Through this poem, his philosophical teaching, Gibran's philosophical teaching is given through a parents here. Parents must understand. Parents are getting advices through the Gibran about parenting here. So ಪಾಲಕರಿಗೆ ತಿಳಿ ಮಾತನ್ನ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕವಿತೆ ಮೂಲಕ ಅವ ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಾನ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ತರ ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಉಪದೇಶ ತಿಳಿ ಮಾತನ್ನ ಅವ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾನ ಟು get some messages, so that readers by reading these kind of poems they get benefited, they can improve their life. So before explanation here, see what is that under during inta ಒಂದು ಕಾಲಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ, during this time when we can see the competitive world outside. So in this competitive world outside, parents will force or pressurize the child to do something, especially in reaching parents' targets, not their own ambitions or targets there. So ಅವರ ಕನಸು ಅವರಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಆಕಾಂಕ್ಷೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಹಳ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ಡನ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಬರ್ಡನ್ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರದ್ದು they pressurize them to do that and this, because it's a competitive world. You have to get up, you have to go for college, you should acquire the career, you should do something, you should earn money, you should make wealth, you should do property, not leaving a child to attain or to get their own wishes. Parents demand ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಒತ್ತಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮಾಡು, ಇದು ಅಷ್ಟು ತಗೋ, ಇದು ಮಾಡು, ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್. ಸೊ ಇಂಥ ಕಾಲಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ when parents are pressurizing or forcing the child to do something, the child will lose his own ambitions and his own imaginations. So here it's a critic here. Through this poem Gibran is criticizing the parents. ಖಂಡಿಸ್ತಾನ ಪಾಲಕರಿಗೆ not to force the children in reaching the goals. Let them choose whatever they want in their life, whether regarding career irbodu, whether they are choosing in friendship irbodu, whether they are choosing any life decisions. Parents should leave them freely. They should not force them, they should not restrict them in choosing their life decisions. So before reading of the poem, let me recite the verses here. And a woman who held a baby against her bosom and a woman who held a baby against her bosom said, "Speak to us of our children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and the daughters of a life longings for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls. For their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children as a living arrows are sent. The archer sees the mark upon the path of indefinite, and he bends you with his might that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness." I repeat, let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness. For even as he loves the arrows that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. So it's a wonderful poem, students. Understand carefully and listen the verses very carefully. So to the parents, it is addressing to the parents here. The poem is specially addressing the parents, telling the parents not to possess you, not to be possessive towards the children, not to self-control the children, not to demand much from the children, or parents must not have more expectations from their child. A student, see in the first line here, And a woman who held a baby against her bosom said, "Speak to us of our children." So what happened here? Once what happened? A woman, ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಹಿಳೆ ಯಾರ ಬಳಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾಳಂದ್ರೆ the prophet. What is that prophet? What the prophet means here? Prophet means the preacher or the spiritualist, we can call in English. And prophet na ಅರ್ಥವೇನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಧರ್ಮ ಪ್ರವರ್ತಕ ಅಥವಾ ದೇವ ಪ್ರೇರಿತ. ಸೊ ಇವ್ರ ಬಳಿ ಮಹಿಳೆ ಬರ್ತಾಳೆ. ಅವರು the prophet departed from the kingdom and he went for advising the people. So people who have a lots of problems in life, lots of difficulties, they come and ask a solution about their problems to the prophet, and they need the advice. The people need the advices from the prophet in dealing or in solving their problems. Likewise, among other people also, a woman was there who went for advising towards the prophet, who went for advising, and he went to the woman or she went to ask some philosophical teachings from the prophet. So ಒಬ್ಬ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಟ್ ಬಳಿ ಅಡ್ವೈಸನ್ನು ತಿಳಿ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಕೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳ ಮಹಿಳೆ. The first line tells that a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of our children." The woman who is carrying a baby, the woman who is holding a baby tightly against the bosom, asked the God. So the woman who has the interest in nurturing the child comes and meets the prophet and asks the advice about how the child should be given a proper development, how the child should be grown properly, should made grown properly. ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾಳ. ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಟು ಅಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್. ಪ್ರೊಫೆಟ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾಳ, ಹೇಗೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಬೆಳೆಸಬೇಕು, ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾಳ ಮಹಿಳೆ. ಸೊ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಪ್ರೊಫೆಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನ. ಹಿ ಸ್ಯಾಡ್. ಈ ಒಂದು ಕವನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಈ ವರ್ಡ್ ಏನು ತಿಳಿಸುತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ he refers to prophet. So when the woman asks a question in the poem, the prophet goes on answering to all the questions of a woman here. So the prophet asks the question and he himself also answers in the lines. We can see that in coming lines here. So he said, the prophet starts to give the advice or preaching here. Your children are not your children. See the lines here. Your children are not your children. The prophet advises the woman here through these lines. So when as soon as we hear this name, your children are not your children, ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಗಾಬರಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಶಾಕ್ ಆಗೋದು. Same with the case of woman. Woman also becomes shocked when she hears these lines. Your children are not your children. ಗಾಬರಿ ಪಡಿಸುವಂಥ ಸಾಲುಗಳಿವೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರ, ಯುವರ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಅರ್ಥವೈತ್ರಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಪೊಸೆಸಿವ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್. ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಅ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್. ವಾಟ್ ಡಿಸೈರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ passions parents will be having, that desires and passions parents must not show in a child. ಅವರಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಕನಸುಗಳು, ಆಕಾಂಕ್ಷೆಗಳು, ಕಲ್ಪನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಅದನ್ನು ಪೂರೈಸಬಾರದು ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಯುವರ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್. ವೈ ಅಂದರೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್. ಅವ್ರದ್ದೇ ಆದ ಕಲ್ಪನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಟೆಲ್ಸ್ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಪೊಸೆಸಿವ್. Parents should not restrict or control the child. The next one. They are the sons and the daughters of a life longing for itself. They come through you but not from you. See, they are. The word here, they are. They here refers to children. They and they are children. They are the sons and daughters of life longing for itself. So what do you mean by longing? Longing here refers to desires. ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂಥ ಲಾಲ್ಸೆಗಳು, ಲೈಫ್ ಡಿಸೈರ್ಸ್ಗಳು, ಆ ಲಾಲ್ಸೆಗಳಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಹುಟ್ಟಿರುವ ಮಕ್ಕಳು. ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ದ ಸನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಾಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಲಾಂಗಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. They are created, originally the children are created by God and they are sent through the means of a parent's here, that's all. It also means children belongs to universe, not to the parents only. ಬರೇ ಪಾಲಕರಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಸೇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. They belong to whole universe. The ultimate creation of that children is the God, not the parents. Parents are through just the way, through means of that they have come. Is that clear? So they are the sons and daughters of life longings for itself. Here the next line. They come through you but not from you. They come through you. Here they again refers to children and they come through you. You refers to parents. Prophet is advising. Prophet ಅನ್ನೋರು ಮತ್ತ ಆ ಮಹಿಳೆಗೆ ಏನು ತಿಳಿಸ್ತದಂದ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು children come through the parents but completely children should not belong to the parents. They come through you but not from you. Because yakandre though they are with you yet they belong not to you. Because children have their own imagination, they have their own targets. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆರೈಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ from your care and nurturing the child can be made grown there, but ultimately or finally you don't see everything that your child should be belonging only to you. ನಿಮಗೆ ಸೇರಬೇಕು. And I can say that don't treat your child as your property. ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಒಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಸ್ತಿ ಸ್ವತ್ತು ಅನ್ಕೋಬೇಡ್ರಿ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸೇರ್ಬೇಕು ಆಸ್ತಿ ನನ್ನ ಕಡೆ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಡ್ರಿ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಹಿಯರ್. ಲೆಟ್ ದಮ್ allowed free. Let them do whatever. Give them a freedom to do whatever they need and whatever they wish. So that they come through you but not from you. You are just a means for coming of the children on the earth. You are just a means there. Everything decided by the God there. And what the child should do and how the child should be, everything is created and decided by the God. Just we are the means, just parents are the means there. Completely children are not the property of the parents here. So they come through you but not from you. And though they are with you, the same again the science lines explanation tells the same thing here. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನಿಮಗೋಸ್ಕರನೇ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ನಿಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಹುಟ್ಟಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಆದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸೇರ್ಬೇಕಾದವರಲ್ಲ. Yet they belong not to you. They have their own personalities. They should find, the children should develop their own personality, not they should be same thing or copying the same parents' personality. They might have come from a parents, but the same personality of a parent the child must not be having there. So child will be something different. The child will have some other attitude when comparing to a parents here. You may give them your love. Next line. You may give them your love but not your thoughts. So this line tells here, parents must give them love. Parents should give them love and care. Parents nurture them. ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಕೊಡಲಿ, ಕಾಳಜಿ ಕೊಡಲಿ, ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಕಾಳಜಿಯಿಂದ ಬೆಳೆಸಲಿ. Let them love and care given to a children there from the parents. What the parents should give to the children, the parents should give their love, nothing more than that. The parents should care the children, not more than that, but not your thoughts. So parents must not give their thoughts. Parents must not give their passions or give their imaginations or give their ambitions to a child, because children or the child must be having their own ambitions, their own imaginations, for they have their own thoughts. See, look here, how the question here. See, the question is asked, you may give them your love but not your thoughts. Why? For? Answer is here. For here refers to because. ನೀವು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕಾಳಜಿ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಕಲ್ಪನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಕೊಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಎದಕ್ಕಂದ್ರೆ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್ ಥಾಟ್ಸ್. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರದ್ದೇ ಆದ ಆಲೋಚನೆಗಳು, ಸಂಕಲ್ಪಗಳು ಇರ್ತಾವ. ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಇನ್ ಲೈಫ್. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ದೆಮ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರೈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ರೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಓನ್ ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ಸ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್. So here next line, you may house their bodies but not their souls. Look here in these lines, again prophet is saying to the parents that you can protect, you may house. The word house refers to protect here. You may protect their bodies. You may nurture them. You may take care them. ಕಾಳಜಿಯಿಂದ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಏನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಲಾರ್ದು ನೀವು ಬೆಳೆಸಬಹುದು, but not their souls. You can put a boundary there, boundary to their what is that physically you can do that, but to their mental, to their what is that inner soul, you can't control that, you can't restrict that. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರ, you may house their bodies but not their souls. You may protect the children physically but not inner what is that inner soul. You can't do any what is that restriction or boundary to their own inner soul. So students, remaining verses I am going to explain in the next session. So revise once again during your free time, read the poem again. Thank you.